Here is why Cardi B's career ultimately flopped. Hey, this is your girl Receipts with Real, and I'm coming to you with another documentary. And today we're going to be discussing one of the biggest names in the industry, Miss Cardi B herself. Now, we haven't heard from her in a while. I don't know about y'all, but I think it's long overdue for us to discuss what actually happened to her career. Now, I see a lot of people speaking about it, beating around the bush, but I'm here to give it to you raw, real, and unfiltered. Let's talk about why Miss Belle Kaliz was one of the highest female selling rappers of all time, and why she's flopping today. Oh yeah, you heard me correctly. She's flopping. Because that song that her and Party just put out went basement. It went nowhere. I just asked my homegirl, has she heard of it? She said she never even heard the song. Now listen, I'm not a barb. I love all the female rappers. I'm actually a Cardi B supporter whenever she decides to drop good music. So when she decides to put out a good song, I'll be the first one to listen. This video is not going to bash her at all. This is going to rather take y'all through the timeline of how she ended up where she's at today. So let's go ahead and get started. So the rapper that we know as Cardi B was born as Belle Kaliz in the Bronx, New York of 1992. She was born to Dominican parents. Now, obviously, people speculate about her mom's ethnicity because Cardi B has been heard on record saying that her mom is from Trinidad, but that has been disputed. And her mom speaks Spanish just like her. So a lot of people are not buying that one. But moving along, the first time that I heard of Cardi B was actually on Instagram. I saw her on social media. And at that time, she was an internet personality, very funny. She is somebody that you could listen to for hours just because of how funny, free-spirited, and careless she was.
Well, people want to be like, I'm immature. Yeah, I'm immature. Yeah, I am.
And I've always been that.
At that time, she didn't really care about what the internet had to say about her. She was just...
I know what baffles my mental, like niggas be calling me, having their friends like, please talk to her, and I really be curbing niggas on gangster, and it's like, you bitches still talking about me, like, what you bitches want me to do, die? Even if I die, niggas is still gonna be thinking about me, though.
Taking us along her day-to-day life and making everybody laugh. Also, she was very passionate about politics at that time as well, so she was even discussing political issues way in her early 20s before she even thought about starting a rap career. I remember a video of her talking about police brutality, and she was talking about, you know, how black men and black people are treated unfairly when it comes to the justice system. So I do want to point out that is not something that's new to her. So Cardi B became a stripper at 19 years old.
Because I told her, like, oh my gosh, mom, I find these white people, they are so rich. And they just want me to take care of their kids. They're like 8 and 9, and I help them with their homework, and they pay me like $100 a day. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But then one time she got me mad, and we was arguing, and I was like, oh, it's your fault. Cause you kicked me out the house. Now this is why I'm stripping. And she was like, oh yeah? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. And then she just pushed me down the staircase.
How is your relationship with your mother now? Like, that she's seen everything that you've been through from the strip club to your fame. Did she ever shun you for your choices, or?
My mom, I never really had a bad relationship. I never was the type to be like, I hate my mother and everything. My mom was just super strict. And she used to beat me every day, but that's just like, now that I'm older, it's tough love. You know what I'm saying? If she didn't beat me, I wouldn't finish high school. I wouldn't even try to even think about going to college. I would have had kids. It's tough love. And when I told her about, like, one day we was arguing, I told her that I was stripping. Like, you know, she hit me and she threw me down the staircase, and I was a grown woman. But
Threw you down the staircase is not okay.
Yeah,
No one should throw anyone down the staircases.
And baby, she was running up a check. And instead of gatekeeping, she decided to go to social media and document her life. She was letting everybody in on everything that she was doing in her day-to-day life. She quickly gained hundreds and thousands of followers on social media on her own. That's how she got the attention of the Love and Hip Hop producers.
you know what? A girl have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever.
Now, to me, when she went on Love and Hip Hop, she was a little bit more quiet and reserved at first compared to her social media presence. You could tell she was kind of just like the new girl on the block trying to feel the energy and the vibe of everybody else. And she became quickly viral with some of her one-hit lines that she would say on the show, like, if you beefing with me, we beefing forever. Now, I remember her dating a couple guys on the show. One of the guys that she was allegedly dating was DJ Self. And I don't know if that was just for a storyline because there was no chemistry there whatsoever. But he was supposed to be helping her start off her music career, all right? And long story short, he was not taking her serious. He was
why do I gotta beg you 5 months straight to listen to a song?
Taking everybody else serious. He was taking Mariah Lynn serious. He was bringing new people on the show. He really was just putting Cardi B to the side like she was a joke. But the joke ended up being on him because in 2016, Cardi B left Love and Hip Hop to focus on her music career. And in 2017, she made history. She broke records when she dropped Bodak Yellow. So Cardi B signed with Atlantic Records in 2017. She released the song Bodak Yellow, and that was her major label debut. The song became a cultural phenomenon, reaching #1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and making her the first solo female rapper to top the chart since Lauryn Hill in 1998. Bodak Yellow spent 3 consecutive weeks at #1 and was widely recognized as the anthem of the summer. I'm trying to tell y'all, that song was nonstop in my car. When I first saw the video, I was like, okay, Cardi. I have been rooting for her since she was in the red bandanas, and I forgot what that one song she was doing when she had on that all red. But something about Bodak Yellow was just different. This song changed her life almost instantly overnight. Now, this song was written by Partisan Fontaine, Clonor Raphael, and producers Jay White and Laquan Green. Now, Kodak Black, he did get some additional writing credits because she sort of sampled his song, but not really. She just put like a different twist on his song. But I'm going to tell y'all what I vividly remember about Cardi B. I remember her saying that she never had any intentions on being like the hottest female rapper in the game. She never had no intentions on even really being a super huge star. She wanted to be a rapper, but she wanted to make enough money to feed her family. Like, she was cool with getting a couple M's and going on about her day.
Get your mom out the hood money?
I can actually get my mom out the hood right now. Mm-hmm. The thing is that, like, oh my gosh, you're real picky. I thought it would be easy. Like, listen, this is your budget. Go find something. Mm-hmm. But shorty picky as hell. Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And that was part of the reason why I made this whole entire video. I genuinely believe that Cardi B would have been happy being more on the level of, I don't even know. Let's say, I can't think of nobody right now. Maybe the City Girls. She would have been happy reaching the level of the City Girls. A talented, successful rapper, but never at any point was she expecting to be lined up against Nicki Minaj.
Are you happier being a celebrity, or were you happier not being a celebrity?
I was happier not being a celebrity.
Really?
That was never her intention, never her goal, but the industry had other plans. During this time, the industry was on a Nicki Minaj hate campaign, and they were looking for someone to replace her. There are plenty of executives and plenty of people who were sitting in them rooms who said that the industry reached out to them trying to have them go against Nicki Minaj. And so this is where the whole industry plant term comes into play. Cardi B was to go against Nicki Minaj. Now, I don't want to offend anybody when I say that, because at the end of the day, Cardi B grinded to get where she's at. I saw the girl grinding. But what I'm saying is, the way her success catapulted overnight, it was because they wanted to replace Nicki. Cardi was just trying to get her bag, go back home, feed her family. No, they had this girl winning Grammys within her first or second year of her career. Whether she wanted to or not, at this point, it was no turning back. Going back home to the Bronx where? In plenty of interviews, people would ask her, how are you adjusting to fame? And you could tell that Cardi was not adjusting well. She went from being this bubbly, funny personality to becoming very insecure. She was somebody who said she would never get her teeth fixed, got a bag and fixed my teeth. And from there, it just went on and on and on and on and on, because she suddenly went from this free-spirited girl to having to read all of these hateful comments online because people were once again comparing her to Nicki Minaj, which is something she didn't ask for.
I could say things that I wanted, or maybe it's not even a celebrity. Maybe the voices that people that is on the internet now, because you wanna, like 3-4 years ago, I wasn't as big as I was, but I was popular and I could say a lot of things that I wanted to say, and it was less judgmental.
Now, she's getting everything fixed, her nose done. She started becoming more critical of herself. Instead of focusing on her music, she started responding back to all the haters in the comments. We literally watched this girl spiral in real time. Now, personally, this is my opinion. I know the barbs is going to come for me. But I don't feel like Nicki Minaj was very welcoming to Cardi B. And that's just my opinion. I feel like Nicki don't really like a lot of female rappers. Let's just be honest, okay? So that whole beef between them, I do think that Nicki started that. So it is what it is. Y'all can hate me in the comments. It is what it is. I think Cardi B tried to avoid it as much as possible, but because they were constantly being pinned against each other so much, both of them let it get to their head. Because they're human at the end of the day. They're reading comments at the end of the day. They both allowed the industry to pin them against each other. And I do understand Nicki's frustration because here it is, you have Nicki Minaj, who at the time had been in the game for 10 years, and she hadn't even won half of the awards that they were just given to Cardi B. I mean, like I said, Cardi B got a Grammy her first year. She broke records. Her first year, she was the highest selling female rapper since Lauryn Hill, y'all. That is a huge deal. And I also have to say that people loved Cardi B's personality more. They thought she was funny, more down to earth, more real, more of a girl's girl. And a lot of people weren't getting that vibe from other female rappers at the time. It is what it is. Cardi B is the one who sort of made it cool to put other female rappers on. She made it cool to not have beef with other female rappers. And instead of beefing, why don't we collab, right? Here is why Cardi B's career ultimately flopped. They put Cardi B on such a high pedestal that she's scared to compete with herself. Let me say that again. Cardi B is scared she's not going to outdo herself. Cardi B is scared that she's not going to get another #1 record. She's not going to sell millions of records the way that she was able to in the past. For a brand new female artist starting off, someone who probably expected to sell less than 100,000 records and they end up selling millions of records, it's very hard to top that. And then when you got people in her ear telling her that she can't do it again, she's scared. Her husband, Offset, has said it plenty of times. She's told us so many times that she's going to put out another album, and she hasn't. You know, there's this phrase that slow and steady wins the race. If her career would have organically grew, we would be hearing more music from Cardi B. But because the industry pushed her to this big platform at such a young stage in her career, she wasn't ready for it. So now instead of working forward, she's working backward. She's putting out songs that nobody even knew that she put out. I'm going on record to say that the industry is to blame for the way that her career is flopping the way that it has. It's not even her fault. To be quite honest with you, they put her in a position that the only way she can go is down. And then on top of that, she's scared that when she put out an album and it doesn't do as well as the first album, she knows she finna catch flack from Nicki. She already know. I'm calling it now. When that album go double basement and it don't sell the way the one the first one did, Nicki finna have something to say in her story and on Twitter, and the barbs is gonna follow. Y'all already know how this go. Cardi B cannot handle criticism. She can't handle criticism so much that she's allowed herself to let other rappers that she put on a pedestal surpass her. Glorilla done surpassed her. Glorilla is the new Cardi B. Glorilla is the new people's champ. I'm gonna be real. Glorilla done surpassed a lot of people. She on her way to surpassing Meg. For real, for real. Some people might feel like she already has. I mean, that's your personal opinion. But let's not forget that Meg was the one who shined her light on Glorilla. When she brought Glorilla on tour with her, that's when Glo really started to level up after she went on tour with Meg. I'm just saying, clock that T. Don't y'all ever forget it. And Meg introduced Glo to Beyonce twice. So I hope y'all don't never forget the boot camp that Glo went through to get to where she's at is a lot of thanks to Meg. But anyway, all of the rappers that Cardi B thought that she was doing better than are now doing better than her. And I truly think it's because they don't care if they put out an album and it quote unquote flops. They don't care about the criticism from Nicki Minaj and all of the other haters. They still putting out their music. Cardi B has gotten to the point where she cares too much what people think. So I don't really know if we're going to get another album from her. I don't really know, to be honest, y'all, because I remember her saying that she was going to put one out in November. Then it was December. Then it was January. And here we are all the way in April. I think that little song that she put out with Party was just a tease to see how well they would do. And they just don't have that same magic anymore. If we do get an album from her, it'll be a major, major shocker. I personally hope that the girl come back. I personally hope that she comes back. It's something about a Cardi feature that just make a song 10 times better. That Glorilla verse that she did on Tomorrow, that verse that she added to Lotto song. Yeah, I really love Cardi B's features. Who knows? Maybe she'll be a feature artist. I really don't know what it is that she's going to do, but for starters, she has to find her confidence. Cardi got to get her confidence back. A lot of that confidence she lost in the war with Nicki Minaj, and a lot of that confidence she lost dealing with her husband, Offset. But all right, y'all, that's all the time I have for today. If you support my channel, I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you can know the next time that I post. If you disagree with anything I said, I want you to comment down below as well. I'm going to catch y'all next time.